Hi, everybody. I just want to talk to you about how to incorporate your research from your note cards into your rough draft. So you can see right here, I'm looking at my outline. Well, this started as my outline. Now I'm filling it in and making my paragraphs out of my topic sentences, my own words, and my research from my note cards. So I want to show you how I did this. I'm going to scroll down here because the paragraph that I would like to work on right now is the one about the good and the bad aspects of credit. Now, remember, my thesis is a thesis that's really in favor of cash. And so I want to keep that in mind as I'm forming my arguments, my little mini arguments in my topic sentences. So my topic sentence says, while the use of credit can have positive effects on an economy, the long-term effects are largely negative. So that definitely fits my thesis. I'm still supporting the idea of cash and the idea that credit can be harmful. And so I hopefully have research to back that up. Let's see what I've got in my note cards. I'm going to click over to my note card tab. Here I've got a quote about the good aspects of credit, and then my second note card is the bad aspects of credit. So I'm going to incorporate both of those. They're both quotes, and I've got my source right here listed with my parenthetical. The first thing I'll do is bring in this first quote about the good things about credit. So let's paste that in. Now, this is fine, but what you'll notice is that I did nothing to introduce this quote. I went straight from my topic sentence right into a quote from research. And remember, that's not what we want to do. Research is not just regurgitating information from books and articles. It's processing and synthesizing that information to make my own argument. So I need to process this note card a little bit. What it says is the good news. Credit is what allows students to attend college, families to buy homes, and entrepreneurs to launch new businesses. The banking sector makes it possible for us to make productive use of other people's capital. Okay, what I would like to do is use my own words to introduce this quote. So I'm going to say, there are many positive aspects of credit because and I can just go right into the word allows. Here's what I'll do. There are many positive aspects of credit because it allows students to attend college, families to buy homes, and entrepreneurs to launch new businesses. Okay, that's good. I think I want to stop there though, and I don't really think I want to use the last part of this quote. It's not needed. And remember, you want to use quotes pretty sparingly. You don't want super long quotes, quotes that go on forever. Remember, if you find yourself doing a lot of that, you probably want to paraphrase most of what you have quoted. But okay, so now I go back and reread. You'll notice I do a lot of going back and rereading because you definitely want these ideas to flow and to sound good. So let's try again. While the use of credit can have positive effects on an economy, the long-term effects are largely negative. There are many positive aspects of credit because it allows students to attend college, families to buy homes, and entrepreneurs to launch new businesses. Okay, I like it so far, but now let's see where I've got to go from here. The next note card I want to bring in is about the bad news when it comes to credit. So it says the bad news. When credit goes wrong, as in 2008, the results can be devastating for the whole economy. We have a problem when I suddenly want my money and you are not in a position to pay it back, perhaps because you have used it to buy a house or a car or a restaurant. Okay, so I need to do some work to link from this idea to that note card, which basically says the opposite. So I've got to do some work here. Let's see. When an economy relies largely on credit, that bubble has to burst eventually. What happens when someone wants their money and it has been used for someone else to buy a home or launch their business? I'm using those words from the above quote. Unfortunately, this happened in 2008. And, okay, now I think I'm ready to use something here. Let's copy that, paste it in. Make sure I have quotes around it because these are not my words. The results can be devastating for the whole economy. I don't need this part because I've pretty much already paraphrased this. So I'm just going to get rid of that, but leave my parenthetical there. Okay, so now I have incorporated 2 note cards. Let's see how it reads now. While the use of credit can have positive effects on an economy, the long-term effects are largely negative. There are many positive aspects of credit because it allows students to attend college, families to buy homes, and entrepreneurs to launch new businesses. When an economy relies largely on credit, that bubble has to burst eventually. Oh, see, those don't flow very well. What if I add a transition word? However, that's what I needed. When an economy relies largely on credit, that bubble has to burst eventually. What happens when someone wants their money and it has been used for someone else to buy a home or launch their business? Unfortunately, this happened in 2008, and the results can be devastating for the whole economy. Okay, I've got a tense issue here. This happened in 2008, and the results can be devastating. So here's what I'm going to do. Unfortunately, the results can be devastating for the whole economy, which is exactly what we saw in the United States in 2008. Now I think it works. Let's go back and reread and make sure. While the use of credit can have positive effects on an economy, the long-term effects are largely negative. There are many positive aspects of credit because it allows students to attend college, families to buy homes, and entrepreneurs to launch new businesses. However, when an economy relies largely on credit, that bubble has to burst eventually. What happens when someone wants their money and it has been used for someone else to buy a home or launch their business? Unfortunately, the results can be devastating for the whole economy, which is exactly what we saw in the United States in 2008. Okay, so far I'm liking this, especially because this is just a rough draft. I can always go back and fix things. But so far I feel like my paragraph is flowing and I'm using my research well. Okay, so that's exactly what you need to do. Notice this is not just copying and pasting. Okay, I'm doing a lot of work. I'm doing a lot of rereading and rewriting and adjusting as I go. All right, good luck.